thanks to Adam Sont for your support as a channel member. It's been hotly debated who will be filling the second seat alongside Nico Hülkenberg for Season 2 at Haas. Now's the time to reveal our driver lineup. Hello folks and welcome to episode 18 with Haas using F2 and GP2 champions only. We're gearing up for the Qatar Grand Prix weekend, a sprint weekend as well, so lots of action coming your way today. But first off, we need to address the driver market. And as you can see here, Felipe Drugovich has a red dot above his name, which means his contract is expiring. And if we click on him and we look at his contract, we've agreed a new contract with Felipe Drugovich. He will stay with the team for another season alongside Nico Hülkenberg. And then it could be all changed because Hülkenberg isn't getting any younger. He is 36 years old. So by the time his contract ends, he will be 37, 38. And let's be honest, he's been making a few errors recently. He's not done badly. He's got a podium, let's be honest, but we could certainly have had a few more points. And of course, we could have even won last time out in Japan. But we move on to Qatar. I don't think there's any new parts to go on the car. We're just researching everything at the moment. We are manufacturing a few bits and pieces that we need. So I don't think there's anything to tell you in terms of upgrades, but I will show you the championship standings. Ferrari really starting to run away at the moment. They've won 9 races this season. That is insane. Aston Martin have won a race. I believe they won in the last race. Fernando Alonso winning in Japan. Mercedes have basically done nothing this year. And Haas with a podium this year. Alpine actually have 2 podiums, but they are still 11 points behind us. We need to continue putting the pressure on Mercedes above us. Nico Hülkenberg is 5 points ahead of Lance Stroll. If we can get him in between the Aston Martins by the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, then I think that is a job very, very, very well done. So we are going to move straight to practice for Qatar, and I'll see you on the track for qualifying for a sprint weekend. Sadly, Felipe Drugovich has been knocked out in Q1, which is far from ideal. Hülkenberg only 11th. We are running tired power units, but this I did not expect. We've not got great setup confidence either, as you'll see here. I mean, Felipe's is only, 52% or something? Yeah, there you go, on the right-hand side. It's 52%. Hulk's is 58%. So we are backs against the wall. Hopefully we can get through Q2. I'll join you at the end of the session to see if we can make it to Q3. Here we go then. Final run in Q2. We're in a bit of a train, which is headed, I believe, by Sergio Perez's Red Bull. Then we're following Lance Stroll's Aston Martin. Hülkenberg on his used set of softs from Q1 has gone 8th fastest. Alonso tops the times right now, and Perez needs a lap to get himself into the top 10. Aston Martin look like they've got some pace here. Alonso topping the times, although Stroll ahead of us is not going faster. Nor is Hülkenberg, actually. So this traffic is not helping him. This is very concerning right now. We are P8 and we're not improving. I don't think we're going to be going any faster, which is going to leave us potentially exposed. Russell, thankfully, only 9th. Hülkenberg across the line, stays 8th. So does Stroll, he stays 7th. Perez only just getting in. Wow. All's well that ends well. We've got plenty of tyres to go in Q3, but track temperature is super hot. Perez is knocked out by Ocon. Wow. Final effort of Q3 then. First run has seen us 10th fastest, all on used tyres. So now is the moment if we want to make something positive from this session. That said, Q3 is positive, but you know what I mean. We want a nice top 6 grid slot as Leclerc goes fastest of anyone, crossing the line first. Sainz goes just in behind his teammate as Hülkenberg sets 2 personal bests on his final flying lap. So let's see how this all unfolds. The 2 Aston Martins are currently 3rd and 4th. Alonso's the car ahead of us. He's about to cross the line. Where does he go? He stays third. What can Hulkenberg do? 8th. Okay, we're ahead of Verstappen. Red Bull are in the mud. Red Bull have been out-qualified by both Mercedes. Wow, they have really fallen off the cliff. Maybe the penalty they got, the wind tunnel penalty, is actually really kicking in this save, because they have just gone backwards this season. Not complaining, we're P8, that'll do. We can hopefully convert that into good sprint points for a good grid slot for the race. And a grid... Oh, we're down to 9th. Who was that? Gasly went 4th. That's not ideal. Anyway, we can still work with 9th. Strategy time for the sprint. And I'm not showing you the normal strategy screen because I want to highlight this box here. And importantly, this bit. Track temperature, 55 degrees. Track tyre cooling rate, low. So we're choosing medium tyres for the sprint to hopefully have something that will be durable enough to get us to the end in a competitive state. If you are a long time viewer of the channel, you might remember back to season 1 with Mercedes. We came to Qatar for a sprint and drivers were getting punctures at the end of the race, because at the end of the sprint, because they started on softs. I'm hoping the AI is stupid enough to do that again and we can profit from it. So let's find out and see if we can bag some points in the sprint. Drugovich needs to make forward progress from 18th. That much is obvious, but Hulk's in a decent position. Let's go to the grid. Here we go then. 2 red cars at the front. We're getting quite used to that. 5 red lights. They weren't held for long. The lights are out. The race is on. A lovely shot of the medical car just going nowhere there. And Hulkenberg is fighting it out with Verstappen on the run down to turn 1. The magic inside line of F1 Manager gives Verstappen the position. It's a mixture of mediums and hards by the look of it. Wow. Sainz, Alonso, Russell on softs, Albon 2. We're taking the position back from Verstappen. We've got Ocon in the way. Give that man a penalty. He's in the way. And now Verstappen is moving ahead of us too. But we've just got to look after the tyres here. We're sneaking back up the inside. And hopefully we can actually make this move stick. Or at least just settle down. And then start looking after our tyres. 8 laps into the sprint. Nothing to report other than Hulkenberg has dropped out of the top 10. Because Perez has come through. And Drugovich has moved up to P15. And is now in a train that leads up to Sonoda. And kind of Ricciardo. So yeah, our 2 drivers aren't far apart. Albon's in the pit lane. Wow. Those softs, he's decided, aren't worth it anymore. Sainz on softs is out front. Alonso is in 3rd on softs. They've still got 10 laps to go. Are they seriously going to put on another set of softs, maybe? Let's see what Albon comes out on. Yeah, that's another set of softs. You don't really want to be making a pit stop in the sprint because no one makes pit stops in sprints. So we could gain a couple of positions from that. Interestingly, Perez and Ocon are on hards. Alonso's in! The AI really is stupid sometimes. There was no reason to start on softs in this sprint. And here's Alonso going to be losing positions. It's a slow stop as well. Oh, Aston Martin have absolutely made a mess of that. Terrible strategy. We're back up into P10. We've got a chance here to maybe finish ahead of Sergio Perez with Nico Hulkenberg. If we get into driving clean air, we might be able to... we're not close enough here on this lap, but we are within a second of him, which means we're getting DRS. Alonso's the car behind us now. He's going to be, well, a second and a half a lap faster, but he's 8.5 seconds back. There's still 3 laps to go, but he's never going to catch us unless our tyres just fall off, I guess. We've charged up the battery, that's the word I'm looking for, and we can now attack Sergio Perez. We're going to go aggressive on the tyres because we can to the end from here. 2 laps remaining at the end of this one. Are we driving in clean air? We are. So maybe we can get the position here. Can we send it into turn 1? Can we? Can we? Yeah, go on Hulk. Things you love to see. Hulkenberg making an overtake and he makes it stick. Get in there, son. Love that. P9. Carlos Sainz has a puncture. He's just conceded the lead and the victory of the sprint to his teammate. He's going to crawl across the line and finish second, I think. Is he? Stroll is coming up quickly. Who's it going to be? It's Sainz with 3 wheels, channeling his best Lewis Hamilton impression. Russell makes it with 17% left. The mediums were the way to go. Hulkenberg finishes 9th. Alonso, though, will start 11th, having absolutely ruined having had a ruined strategy. Hulkenberg has stopped. I think he's out of fuel. But yeah, that's fine. Drogovic, P12. Decent recovery from him. Goes past his teammate who stopped on track. But the race is finished, so it's all fine. Let's go to the Grand Prix. I've been a bit sneaky with my strategy. I played through practice 2 and essentially just did one long run on a set of softs with the intention of not touching the soft tyres at all in the Grand Prix or the sprint, because they're basically jelly. They will melt as soon as you show them this racetrack. So a combination of the heat, the corners, everything, they're just not viable. Let's look at the track graph. We've got 52 degrees track temperature, so it's hard, medium for our drivers. The aim is basically to use these stronger tyres so they're more heat resistant and we can keep up a relatively good pace. And we can push more, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. The AI might try a funky strategy where they're a bit slow and then maybe put a bit of some soft tyres on and be really fast and then have to pit again. I've seen that happen and I've seen it all go wrong as well. So let's get to the grid and let's do a motor race. Just as it was then in the sprint, 2 Ferraris at the front and we are in P9. 5 red lights. The lights around the race is on, and immediately Charles Leclerc is moving across to block his teammate. Stroll has come across for P2. Sainz has gone backwards there. Gasly momentarily up into P3. We're fighting Max Verstappen on the opening lap once again. Can we make it past the Dutchman this time? Stroll has actually got himself into the lead here. What the flip is happening? We've got soft tyres on the 4 at the front, soft tyres on the drivers behind us with Hulkenberg and ahead of Drogovic, and then a few medium runners. This is going to be a very interesting strategic battle. So we might have an ace up our sleeve with the 2 sets of hards and the mediums, but we could also be in a lot of trouble because everyone else might just be faster than us. Yeah, our strategy might not be working because this is Ocon blasting past on a set of softs, a very worn set of softs I might add, and Hulkenberg just on his set of hards, not really able to offer a defence. I've just been time 16ing my way through this. We're on lap 10, but here's the state of everybody's tyres. I mean, at least we've got tyre left to use later on in the race. We might be on something that resembles a sensible strategy, but the AI at the front, using their tyres, building a gap, we're already 18 seconds off the lead. Not that we're challenging for the win today. We are just maybe hoping to grab a few points. Let's join Felipe Drogovic and try and get some good news for Haas as he blasts down the outside of Ricciardo for P11. We've got a yellow flag at the moment. Someone has made a mistake. Gasly. Oh, this is excellent news. Alpine have returned to being Alpine. Gasly sliding off the track, spinning around and ruining his tyres. He's just stopped for a set of mediums and they are already cooked. Hulkenberg is closing in on his pit stop lap. We should probably reduce the aggression at which we are using the tyres. And he is currently P7, but Ocon and Perez on softs ahead are risking a puncture. Stroll's gone to another set of softs, as has Leclerc. What are the AI doing on strategy? It's absolutely bonkers. Because they're going to have to 3-stop. We might be okay with a 2-stop. 3-stopping would give you fresher tyres. Do you want fresher tyres or do you want tyres that are going to last? That is the question that this race is going to answer. Going to make a change to the strategy here. We've got 3 brand new sets of mediums. We don't need to be running hards. I think we can just eke out a set of mediums here maybe. If we need to stick on a set of softs, we've got a set of softs. If we want to switch back to hards, we can for the end of the race. So I think going mediums here with Hulkenberg gives us a little bit of flexibility. Maybe we'll go hards, mediums with Drugovich as planned. But with Nico, we're going to change the strategy. It's double stack o'clock, and it's pit stop error o'clock. This is this is not a Valtteri Bottas pit stop, and Drugovich has been held up massively. Drugovich gets a 3.2 second, 13 seconds for Hulkenberg. That's absolutely killed our strategy. Oh dear. Lap 34, really frustrating development. Pierre Gasly has come out ahead of us after his second stop. He's on a set of mediums, which I'm guessing he's going to try and take to the end. So he might come back towards us late on, but at the moment, we're going to lose so many points to Alpine thanks to that slow pit stop for Hulkenberg. We could have been, I don't know, another 10 seconds up the road. We are, what are we, 5 seconds behind Perez at the moment. We could have been ahead of Perez, maybe even ahead of Gasly right now. So that slow stop has really hurt us. Nico Hulkenberg's making his way to the pit lane. Hopefully we get a better stop this time. Let's watch the rear left tyre. Hopefully it comes off the car quickly. We're not going to get a good shot of it. We get actually a 3.1 second stop is fine. Track temperature has well, it was coming down. It's now going back up, which is far from ideal. I did contemplate putting hard tyres on and then just gunning it to the end, but we're going with mediums. We're going to be faster than everybody because their tyres are going to wear out. So hopefully towards the end of the race, they'll come back to us and we can start to challenge them. But we are, what are we? 4.7 seconds behind Perez, who is 23 seconds behind Alonso. So we're at best at the moment scratching for a point off of Perez. Yeah, our strategy hasn't worked out. We've not been, I don't think we've been aggressive enough on our tyres. We haven't been prepared to risk it, essentially. And yeah, we've been too cautious today. We might end up with a point out of things, but we've been far too cautious on strategy. And we're going to pay for it because we're not going to get any points. And as it stands, Alpine are going to get 10 with Gasly. They're going to get 7 with Ocon because he's got the fastest lap. Maybe we pit Drugovich and try and nick that fastest lap off of them. Pierre Gasly has had another spin. Here it is. Turn 7, I think it was. And around she goes once again, getting out of his teammates' way. But so frustratingly, we are so far behind, he still managed to recover to the track ahead of us. There's gasps again in the Alpine garage. What's it done to his tyres? They're not in a good position. We're going to bring Drugovich in this lap. And we're going to harvest the battery. We're going to conserve a whole load of fuel. We will go a lap down, but we will hopefully snatch this fastest lap from Ocon so that they can't have the point. This really hasn't been a good race for us. We've really struggled. And we've scored points. We finished in the top 10 in every single race so far this season. I think today is the day where it finally comes to a halt. And a shuddering halt at that. Here's Drugovich into the box. Let's see if we can get this fastest lap. We'll get the tyres nicely warmed up and then we'll essentially do a qualifying lap. Oh, we've impeded Verstappen as we return to the circuit. He's got himself up into P3 ahead of Leclerc. I hope we're not going to have to get out of the way of a load of people. This is the last lap. Carlos Sainz is starting the final lap, so it is now that we have to do the fastest lap. We should get DRS as well from Verstappen, which is helpful. Let's see, can we set some fastest sectors? It looks like we're fighting with Verstappen. It's a personal best. It's not the fastest of anybody. That's an Aston Martin in the way. Personal best for Drugovich as Sainz wins the race. Are we going to set... Whoops. We didn't set the fastest lap. I think we got traffic from the leaders and they denied us the fastest lap. Oh. And unless Hulkenberg can pass Perez on the run to the line here, our points run is going to come to an end. Oh, the battery's empty and we've missed out by 0.2 of a second. The point streak comes to an end.
Checkered flag.
Alpine
Good job,
bag loads of points. Mercedes got loads of points. We're down to P6 in the Constructors' Championship. This is not a good day at all for Haas. Really, really frustrating. But only myself to blame. Wasn't aggressive enough with the strategy. There you go. 11 points for Ocon. 2 for Gasly. So they bag 13. Mercedes bag 14. Stroll now miles ahead of Hülkenberg in the Drivers' Championship. All the things we hoped to achieve this season really not working out for us. We must get this P5 back. I really want that P5. We can take our eye off of Mercedes now. We must beat Alpine. Really, really frustrated with this race. Not only have our points run come to an end, but we've lost P5 to Alpine, who are seemingly getting their act together, and I don't like it. If you could go ahead and smash the like button for me, that would really cheer me up, because I'm really quite disappointed with how that race went. Hopefully we can bounce back in Qatar, I think it is next, because we've got another sprint weekend. So hopefully we can get the strategy sorted and the car set up really nicely for the Circuit of the Americas. I'll see you there. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.